It was
Hi,
scary.
welcome back to It's Happening Now. Um, Today, I guess our top story is going to be the Biden crime family, and are they really criminals or have they been given a bad rap? So, who wants to get us started with that?
Hang them all. No, I'm
Oh,
just joking. Absolutely, they're a crime family. I mean, how much evidence has to come out before people realize that they have made millions and millions and millions of dollars doing shady backdoor deals, bribing other countries. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, it just left my head. Basically
extortion,
extortion, coercion,
right?
any means necessary for them to get their hands on money. And what makes it sad is they sell us out, the people, for their own gain.
Mhm.
Right.
I've had enough of it.
I have as well, but
I'm
apparently
with you on that one.
the people need even more, you know, proof to make sure that this comes to light. So we have obviously something great happening today. The House is currently holding a public hearing on the Biden family influence peddling with ex Hunter Biden associates. This is from Fox News. They're testifying today at a public hearing, and there is some interesting developments. We did see that today
Well, you gotta find something and then
Bob
talk.
Alinsky testifies that Jim Biden admitted family conducted business through plausible deniability. It says former Hunter Biden
Yeah,
associate Tony Bobolinsky testified Wednesday that President Biden's brother Jim admitted to him during a 2017 meeting that the Biden family was able to conduct its business despite the president's high profile because of plausible deniability.
I like his last name. Ba, ba, ba,
Bobby
ba,
Bobby
ba,
Bob,
Whiskey.
Bobolinsky.
ba, 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 ba.
They're definitely dirty. And look, okay, take that down for a second. I'm gonna show you something real quick.
gotcha.
Okay, look at this. Okay, now Hunter's ex business partner, Tony Bobulinski, I do like that name too, turns the tables and humiliates AOC after she asks a gotcha question regarding Joe Biden. Now, if you go down, and this is the Gateway Pundit, by the way. If you
Yeah, you
go down
probably play
here,
that video.
I don't know if we're allowed, so I'm
I
not
don't
going to do
either.
that.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Let's avoid that
Are they
for
going to
now.
take the no money we're making away from
If,
us?
yeah. Well,
They
if
might take
anybody's
it.
interested in Song Gateway Pundit, they can watch the video for themselves. So,
Okay, like I want to start it right here because like she's trying to get a gotcha. So it's like AOC raising her voice. Did you witness the president committing a crime? Is it your testimony today? Bobby Linsky. Yes, AOC. What crime have you witnessed? Bobby Linsky. How much time do I have to go through it? I mean, the dude's I like dude.
Yeah.
AOC, it's very simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something? Bobby Linsky. Corruption statues, RICO statues, AOC interruption. What is it? What is the crime, sir? Bobby Linsky. You asked the question, I answered the question. RICO, which you're obviously not familiar with. AOC, excuse me, sir. RICO is not a crime. It is a category. Bobby Linsky, it's the category of a crime you are then charged with. This AOC is there's something wrong with that chick,
right,
dude.
she doesn't know what she's doing.
No, let me take that.
A she was a from the way I understand it, she was a barmaid. She's done various odd jobs, I'm sure, like we
No,
all have. And she stepped right into
I
Congress
believe she
without.
has an economy degree. Let's put that
Yeah,
out.
she
Does
does.
she? Okay, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
unaware of that. Okay,
She was a
but
barmaid, but she went to college. She actually comes from a good family. I mean,
right,
kind of like they have money,
upper
you know.
class, right.
Yeah, upper class. She plays the whole "I was a barmaid" thing. I come from the
Mm.
rags to riches story, and no, that's not even accurate at
Now,
all.
what
Oh,
I want to know is, well, I don't want to know. It's a statement. Education does not equal intelligence at all.
right,
At no
absolutely.
point. I can teach somebody how to do anything, teach them any subject, whether you can put that to use or
Right.
whether you could put that to uh applicable uses
Situations,
is
right?
different than just knowing something.
Right.
No, I agree. I mean, she's definitely she's definitely had the education, but she's not an intelligent person. I mean, this isn't the first time she said some off the wall ill stuff to where you just look at her and you're like, what? Like,
Right.
what do you mean? I mean, the horse face matches the intelligence level. But
You
Devin,
know,
don't you smirk at me.
I,
When I said that about her face, he gets smirked like.
our show's a hot mess, but that's what makes it entertaining. Have you seen the story, A Message to SCOTUS, DC U.S. Attorney? Here, let me bring it up. Now, this right here, the first thing I noticed is that
Hey, I
a real
didn't see
human?
this.
What is that? I mean, look at that guy. Why does he look like that?
That's a really bad picture, bro.
I don't know. Is it? Is
His
that
head
just what
is
he looks like?
incredibly shiny.
Yeah, I was about to say the lighting on his head is just the best thing ever going
I mean,
in that picture right there.
This is the guy that gets power and then wants to push it on everybody he doesn't like because he just sits in the shadow of life. But that's not the point. The point is A Message to SCOTUS. DC U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves threatens to seek more prison time for January 6ers if Supreme Court reverses obstruction statute this summer. So I didn't really read into it, but I'm assuming that they're talking about Trump or just an obstruction of like the government or something. But where in this country does the Supreme Court decide on a constitutionality of a law or a statute become a punishment for people who are serving time? And I don't agree with the time they're serving, but he's saying if you don't do what I say, I'm going to take these innocent people, in my opinion, and force them to stay in here longer just because I don't want you to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Like if I've already been committed of a crime, and then you come back and say we're going to add time because of the crime you've already been committed of, or you've already been. I can't think of the word. Is that the right word?
Yeah. I like this comment.
So I did just look up.
Yeah.
I did just look up the statute thing.
Well, what I'm saying is you can't just say, "Hey, we don't feel like we gave you enough time when we found you guilty of this crime right here, so we're gonna just add time to it."
Well, that's the thing. They were actually brought under charges. It said more than 300 people were brought under obstruction statute charges. So they charged over 300 people with that. So if the Supreme Court overruled that decision in any way, shape, or form, all 300 plus would basically be, I don't know the word for it.
They would have
Free?
the ability to raise their what?
Would they be free then, or would they have their cases rescinded?
Well, if he's saying he's going to give them more time, I don't think they'd be.
Well, he
free.
says he's going to try to prosecute them harder.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's like you get in trouble for something. Let's just say, you get let's
called
go,
double jeopardy.
Let's say
you can't
DUI.
charge me for the same thing I've already been charged
Let's
with.
say a DUI. You know what I mean? And so they're like 30 days in jail. Yeah, you're a habitual DUI, a drunk driver.
Yeah, 30
But you're
days.
sitting in there and you're 15 days in. Well, the legislation of Ohio decides that, or the Supreme Court decides that a law that governs the category of DUI is unconstitutional. And the Attorney General for Ohio says, well, if you guys decide that, everybody that's in jail for DUI, I'm doubling their sentence.
Right.
How is that? I mean, a judge passes sentence and he's just like, no, guess what? You're going to sit in prison longer. I
will tell you the one person that can do it is your parole officer.
Well, yeah, well,
Right.
that's different.
Right.
I
got a letter in the mail. Like, look, I'm just going. When I was in there,
Did you get this yesterday?
No,
Okay.
if you haven't noticed, I'm still in there. No,
That's why it's so dark in that room.
right. When I was in there, mail call was like the stuff, right? Like I mean, you waited for that. My name
Right.
gets called. I'm like, hell yeah, I got a letter. You know what I mean? Go down there, get my letter. I go back up to my cell, open it up. It's a letter from my parole officer saying he extended my sentence 6 months.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but
Hey, look, I'm
did you have
telling
any
you,
time on the shelf?
no. See, like, so I was on parole when I got convicted of the next crime. So I got a year,
Uh-huh.
and then my PO was like, I'm gonna add 6 months to that. Your parole officer can do that, and I mean, I'm telling you, that was the most sickening feeling I've ever.
Oh,
had.
I bet. I'm gonna get out. No,
I had like 4 months left, bro, and it went from 4 to 10. I was like, no.
I would like to bring this story up if y'all don't mind, because I just saw this first time I've seen this, and I'd like to get your guys' opinion on this.
We'll
Let me
bring
get
it
this.
up.
Any time now.
All right.
Anytime now. No, well, that's a flat.
Leading-
Okay, there it is.
Leading Wisconsin Democrat Kimberly Zapata found guilty on all counts against of her. Well, that's wrong. Counts against her and
Right.
voter fraud scheme involving military ballots. So apparently she was sending out fraud and fake ballots from the military. So received 3
Nice.
authentic military ballots to her home address to Holly, a woman who has never lived there. So right here is just more proof of tons of voter irregularities. Didn't Wisconsin go to Biden in this last
It went to
election?
Trump in
Yeah,
2016.
by like
it went
just
to
like a
Biden in-
slight margin, wasn't it?
Slight margin in that
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're surprised at this point, you're not really paying attention. I mean, we are seeing just more and more cases of just straight up illegality from everybody in that side of the aisle, and no one's doing anything about it. We haven't really seen any major ramifications given to these people. I'm glad that they got this woman, but I doubt that we're going to see any more from that
Right.
anytime soon.
Well, and to go back with them adding time to somebody, I mean, this is not only are people in this country getting locked up for things that aren't crimes, they haven't committed the crime, but now they're just locking them away and then adding time as they feel necessary or as they like, without any kind of retrial or judgment or anything. Just like, oh, you're here, you're going to stay in there a little bit longer.
You notice one
What
thing-
happened to our judicial system?
Well,
You know what I mean?
you want to know one thing they don't teach in school?
One, they don't teach a lot of things. in
Well, I mean,
school,
one
bro.
major thing that you think in this country would be taught to you day in and day out is the Declaration of Independence, because
You're
it
right.
says it is the citizen's duty to overthrow a government if it becomes tyrannical. It's not, well, you can if you want to, or you might get up on a Saturday morning and go overthrow your government. It says it's your duty
It's our duty.
to
Yeah.
oust a government if they become tyrannical. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like a tranny's coming at me, a tyrannical government.
Is one?
Was that an intentional
sorry,
slip
that
of
was-
tongue? No tongue, no
I
no
read it
pun
intentional
intended
slip
there.
up.
But
Either way, so they both sound just
I'm
as
just
terrifying.
wondering if it's pre-op or post-op.
No, I mean, in this government, you don't know if it's a tranny.
Oh, wow.
Or I mean, if the director of health comes at me, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, can I talk to you? Then the tranny is coming at me because that's
Still, the question is pre or post.
it doesn't matter.
Pre-op or post. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Well, I
I mean,
think
it depends. Like, are you going to, you know what I mean, when you kick, you know what I mean?
I think, and I have to say, I think the biggest story of today, right here.
Well, we didn't hit much on the is Biden crime family.
Well, but yeah, you're right.
unfortunately, I think we kind of answered that.
I
That
mean,
we
it's
all
yes.
believe that they're very, very guilty. That they're
Right. No, I'm just saying, like,
they've been corrupt for a long time. He's been in politics pretty much his whole adult life, and
right. I mean, we've hit
we
on some
can't
of
seem to
that
get him
here, and
out.
we've hit on some of that before.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, I mean, is the Biden family involved in a lot of crime? You know what I mean? Like,
Everywhere they go. Okay, so I just read a story earlier that the classified documents that uh,
Joe
Biden
Biden.
had while his son was working for Burisma in Ukraine were about Ukraine, where the troops were stationed. I mean,
Right.
top secret information that Hunter Biden had access to. So, what was Hunter Biden doing over? He's selling information. It's
I mean,
that
I believe he was, and it wasn't just that. I mean, he gave job for one. The only reason Hunter Biden never got that job was because his dad was the vice president. His brother enriched himself using Joe Biden. I think what his name, Jim.
yeah.
He enriched himself through that. Got him all types of jobs over there in Ukraine. I can't remember that whole story, but I read it a while ago. I mean, it's obvious that they're a criminal family. It's
I mean,
it's obvious that
becoming
Joe
more
Biden
obvious.
is the big guy. You know what I mean? I mean, there
Right.
was numerous emails. Give this to the 10% for the big guy. I mean, if this was Trump, he'd be buried under the prison right now because they've tried everything they can to go against Trump and go after him, and they haven't found anything.
no.
But
I mean,
but I will say, every time they try to go after Trump and find something, they end up finding what they're looking for from Trump from Biden.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's deflecting. But I mean, if we want to hear more from Biden, apparently he is going to be invited to not testify, but provide testimony to the House Oversight Committee. I want to see if he actually does that or not. Apparently, they're going to invite him here soon.
look, it's called projecting.
They're going to invite Biden to provide testimony to the House Oversight Committee.
Cheating on his wife will accuse his wife of cheating all the time, or vice versa. A wife cheating on her husband will blame the husband of cheating because they feel if I'm doing it, you have to be doing it too. So it's a guilt mechanism. So Biden.
Don't tell secrets, Greg.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, the bro
information away.
Okay.
It's a joke.
You broke bro code, dude. Don't do that.
What I'm saying is, now you made me forget my point.
My bad.
So,
our job is complete then.
But it's
moving on.
Biden. I remember now. Biden accused Trump, or Congress. I'm sorry, not Biden, but the Democrat Congress accused Trump of quid pro quo with Ukraine.
Well, they were doing
right after the tape, right before the tape of Joe Biden actually doing a quid pro quo with Ukraine. So they're like, that way they can say, "Hey, look, Trump did it." So Biden did it. Everybody does it.
They did this. They did the same thing with the files, with the classified information. They got all this on Trump and was like, oh, he's guilty of this, and it's like, for one, he's the president, he's allowed to have them.
Right.
But then they bust Biden and they find it several different locations.
Yeah.
Numerous people. God knows who had access to it. You know what I mean? It was in unsecure locations. I mean, those are real crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And
when this was before he was president, he shouldn't have had any access to any of that anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. He should have never had access to that. He had it in areas where who knows had access to it. So you say Trump did something wrong when Trump had it somewhere where no one had access to it. He was the president. He was allowed to do it.
Right.
But then all this stuff comes out about Biden, and they're like, no, nothing to see here. It's okay. And then the prosecutor, is he a prosecutor? You know what I'm talking about?
No, he's a basically an independent investigator. I can't remember
Okay,
what they call them.
under his investigation, he comes out and says while he's giving his what he's found
Yeah, a special.
that
Yeah.
Biden did some things, they were illegal, but he's just an old man.
Right, but he wasn't.
And it's right, he wasn't thin, but it was just like, and then
Right.
who was it? McConnell or Chuck Schumer that said he should have never said that because he called him a feeble old man or something.
Yeah.
something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
They got mad at him. I can't wait till I'm 85 years old. I'm going to do all kinds of crimes and no one. Just a few.
You'll
Well,
go to
supposedly
prison.
when you're old, they let you get away with more.
I bet you.
So
Why is my camera wigging out? It must be aliens.
I don't know.
But here, moving on.
That's Saturday's show, Greg. That's
I
Saturday.
think this is the biggest story of today. Now,
Go ahead.
it's not, I'm going to blow your mind, but I think this has huge ramifications. And it's Georgia judge allows Trump to appeal Fannie Willis disqualification decision. So, and I'm not going to go into reading any of it, but in my mind, he knows what he did was wrong. He had to do it because they're friends. Like I said before in another episode, him
Right.
and his wife both donated to her case or to her campaign. So it's like, you're my friend. Yeah, I'm not going to kick you off the case. But I think the public looked at him and said, so prosecutors can lie, commit crimes, do what she's accusing Trump of doing, and she can keep her job and no criminal charges come before her.
Well, I
So
told you he's up for re-election. So when the backlash came, now he's like, well, okay, now you can appeal it, and we can try again.
Yeah, but
Because
it's a different judge.
huh?
It'll be a different judge that appeals it. He won't hear that case. So it washes his hands of it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. He's up for re-election though, so he's trying to make himself look good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all. It's safe face. It's the safe face.
No, it's absolutely
with the public.
It's the two-tier justice system.
I think he didn't realize that there was going to be so much backlash from that, and now that there is, he's like, I got to save myself, my career. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's trying to save face.
Yep, he is absolutely. I mean, he's like, see, I didn't get rid of you, but I'm going to let him appeal. So it's out of my hands. My hands are clean of this. You know what I mean? He's crooked. He's a crooked judge. Just like, I mean, I'm tired of this. I'm friends with the prosecutor, so I'll do whatever the prosecutor wants. It's not how the law should work. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think America's grown into a problem that probably didn't exist, and that is prosecutors in a county become friends with those county judges.
Yeah.
And that's going to show, impartial.
My bad.
Not impartial, but partial rulings. It's like, you're my friend. I'll do what you want. I'll help your
Inside deals, yeah, they do it all the time.
Yeah, it's wrong. You know what I mean?
And it shouldn't be like that, man. Like every judge does it though, in some way, shape, or form. Like I've been through this system several times myself.
Yeah.
And they always tell you, like say my attorney comes to me and says, "Hey, I got to deal with the prosecutor, and I've been in trouble before, so I had the chance of the judge being able to add a year to my sentence, right?" And my public defender was like, "Look, I already talked to the prosecutor. Prosecutor talked to the judge. It's all good. You're not going to get that you're added, right?" So I was like, "You're offering me a year. I'll take the year, but you ain't going to throw another one on there. Now I'm doing two. I'm doing double."
Right.
So he said it when it happened. I went in there, and I'm a pretty honest person, man. I mean, anytime my POs or anything have ever asked me, "Hey, can you pass a drug test?" I'm like, "Nah, I smoke a lot of weed." And they just be like, "Thanks for the honesty. Get out of my office. Go home."
Yeah, I'll pass it. It'll be positive.
It'll be positive.
Yeah.
It will never come back negative.
I studied for that test.
Really hard. Right before I came in here, smell my shirt. No, but anyway, so I go in the courtroom, and the first thing the judge asks you is like, is anybody offering you anything? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, he sits back. He's like, "You're supposed to say no." I'm like, but you did make a deal with me. And he was like, but you're not allowed to say that. And I was like, but you did.
But you
It's
did,
right
right.
here in writing. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like,
Yeah.
but you're supposed to say no. So because in all reality, they're not allowed to do that. So when you go up there, you're supposed to say, no one's making a deal with me. Nobody offered me a lighter sentence or anything. I'm pleading guilty. And then the judge says, okay, I'm sentencing you to a year, bangs the gavel, you're done.
Yeah.
But they get mad, they get super mad at me when I said it. And I was like, but yeah, yes, the prosecutor and my attorney got together. They came up with the deal. They asked me if I'd take it. And then they talked to you too. You already know I got a deal. What are you asking me that for?
Right.
But
That
it's
makes
how it
Legality
works.
reasons. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to be honest, and they want you to like. That's what kills me about the whole system, is they say, "We want you to come in here, and you're supposed to be honest, tell nothing but the truth, so help you God." And then when you do, they're like, "Shut the fuck up." My bad.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, look, we can bring it up real quick. Look what the Supreme Court did, blocking Texas again.
Well, the
In the
Supreme
middle of
Court
the
didn't do that.
It
That
wasn't
was
the Supreme Court. It was
Go ahead,
the
Dad.
Sorry,
appeals
it was
court.
the
Federal
appeals court. I'm sorry, the appeals court.
Well,
But
yeah.
in the middle of the night, they did this while everybody's asleep. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
oh, here we're gonna block
That
this.
wasn't that late.
First, they're
It
like,
wasn't. It
Go ahead,
wasn't.
Devin. Tell the story, Devin. Go ahead.
It wasn't the middle of the night. It was like a couple of hours after the Supreme Court released their stay, which
Right.
we've been seeing a lot of recently.
right,
We've been seeing a lot of these courts putting stays on things because they were technically directed by the Biden administration. The Supreme Court was directed.
Sorry.
No, the Supreme Court was directed by the Biden administration to put a freeze on that immigration law, and then as soon as they go to release it, the appeals court hits it again. So
right.
we're seeing a lot of this on a lot of aspects where these, like you said earlier, Greg, and you were talking about these courts are just, they're all working together.
They're financial institutions now.
Yeah, and
Pretty
it's,
much, yeah.
it's not what it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be
It's all for profit.
impartial.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to read the story, but it's just funny because, like, I mean, everybody knows what Hillary Clinton's
Right.
known
Well,
for.
and also they not only that, but they did a stay with no end in sight either.
Right.
And it's like,
Hold on, I'm
again,
gonna look something up.
if the federal government's not going to protect the border, then what is the state to do? I mean, the states have the right to protect themselves. And the fact that all of this is even going through the courts just infuriates me. It's asinine on a whole new level, is what it is.
I agree, but this is how the system works, I guess. Sometimes it works
It's not
at all.
right, but it's not
It
supposed
is,
to.
all right. It is. If you don't agree with me, you go to jail. Or it's, if you don't pay for a lawyer, then you get maximum sentence.
Right.
There's a time when I was young and dumb, and I got Taco Bell at 2:00 in the morning after heavily visiting a bar.
Right.
And I come out of the drive-thru and I look across the street. And there's a cop sitting over there looking at Taco Bell. I'm drunk. I'm not going to lie. Well, it became a case of whose cojones were bigger, mine or his. So I'm like, I look over at Tammy and she looks at me and she goes, "Don't do it." And I'm like, "Watch this." So I just go sideways in my big Dodge Power Wagon truck, just roast to the tires. Well, of course, he pulls me over.
Right.
He's like, "Have you been drinking?" And I said, "Drinking what?" Drunk, being a smart ass like I usually am. So long story short, what the heck is that? He arrests me, takes me to jail. We spend the next 45 minutes playing PlayStation 2 until someone comes, picks me up. And they pick me up. I go to court and I plead not guilty, that I'm going to get representation. He tells me what could happen to me: 30 days in jail, $2,000 fine, blah, blah, blah. I hire a lawyer. He literally meets me the day of court. Never met this man once in my life, talked to him on the phone. He walks in, stands in front of the judge, tells him I'm a good boy, never had a DUI, and we should drop the charge to reckless op. And and the judge goes, "Yeah, I could agree to that." It doesn't. It's like, so I had to pay him $750, pay the court $750, and it was all gone and bye-bye. So it's a system that they've created to pay themselves and everybody around them.
Yeah, it's all for profit. But let me pull this up for a second because I wanted to talk about this earlier and I forgot about it.
We got about 15 seconds.
I know we're gonna go just a little over, but I just want to read this. Executive Director of the Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport in Arkansas, so they own their own airport.
Well, no,
shot in the head. I know. I'm just being
right. Okay.
Shot in the head by federal agents after allegedly opening fire.
I
didn't read it, but I did catch this one. He actually did shoot at them first.
Yeah, it was the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Yeah, ATF came after him. And it's just funny because like when I seen the story, I instantly went to. Is he?
Yeah, they put him on life support, but he didn't die. If you read farther down, but I want to go to the ATF. If it's alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives, it should be ATFE.
That's a fair point.
It should be.
Why are we leaving out the explosives?
Because we leave out the things that we don't want them to know about.
Why do we have an agency that's governing those things anyway? But that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole other right. I mean, we have more alphabet letter bureaucrats than we need. I mean, who are these people? Why are they here? Get them out of my face.
Get more of those than elected officials.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
That is.
Go ahead, Scott. Wrap it up.
That's the deep state.
Yeah. Right. All right. So thanks for watching, everybody. Remember to like, subscribe, share. We're changing our format slightly. Saturday is going to be a live show starting at 10 to 11. So we're going to try that out, see what happens. Give us comments. Tell us if you like it, don't like it, suggestions, whatever. And
ring that bell.
Ring the bell. God bless America, and we will see you tomorrow.
Dingy, dingy, dingy.
Later, y'all.
Good night. Peace out.